day has finally come, guys. We have finally finished the Buster Sword. Now, this project was actually built 4 years ago. I built this Buster Sword 4 years ago before I started making these keyblades and everything for the channel. I actually built the Buster Sword first. And what I can say is that the first initial sword, it looked a hot mess. I decided that I was going to go out and buy plumber's tape, which is like a metallic looking tape, very sticky, very durable, but that ended up being a hot mess because it just looked like a big shiny piece of tape is what it looked like. It did look like a Buster Sword, it was just way too shiny all the way around. And I know that with a Buster Sword, especially Final Fantasy VII or Kingdom Hearts Buster Sword, Cloud's Buster Sword, you want it to look a little weathered. So what I did is about a year ago, I started the process again, but something came around where, actually, it came around to the point where I stopped uploading videos for about a month, if you guys can remember that. But I started the process. I did do one video then that I still have on my phone, so that will be in this video as well. But I'm going through the process of how we kind of did this. So what you're not going to see is a video of what I coated this with. So you're going to see after I painted it silver, and I was like, it's just a big silver mess now. What I did was I coated the actual whole sword with Flex Seal. Yes, I said that, Flex Seal. And the reason why I use this as the base is because I wanted to test it before I start recoating and doing the X-Blade back there, because I want to make that more durable, and I wanted to test it with the Buster Sword to see how it is, and it actually turned out pretty good. So I used that as a base. Then what we did was we painted over it, and what we decided that we were going to do is we looked at the different versions of the Buster Sword with Final Fantasy VII, with Cloud's Fusion Sword and stuff like that. I can always make designs up. We decided to go a different route, and that different route was actually Crisis Core Zack's Buster Sword, because it was very unique and it was different because it has like the gold accent in there, and it has like the red handle and stuff like that. We decided to go down that route. So I was really excited to actually put that together, because I was like, man, that's a unique Buster Sword. People are going to see it and be like, oh, that's Zack's Buster Sword. And I felt like that was a more unique way to go. Of course, I didn't do all the intricate little things that are on the gold part, which I could have. I could have taken like hot glue and put it on there, designed it, and then painted over it. But with the time crunch with everything right now, I just kind of put it together, and it looks 100% better than it did before. And I'm so excited that you guys are finally going to be able to see what this Buster Sword turned into. I am so happy that it turned out the way it was. So I'm going to show you guys some of the process, and I guess I can tell you guys the tools that I used before we get into it. So what I used was foam board. I used a wooden rod. I used some plumbing supplies. Not the tape is in there, but you don't have to use that tape. It did help me keep it together and be durable. But I used Flex Seal. Different types of paints. With the material, I used a dragonfly paint, which is really cool. It changes colors, and it has like different sparkles and different light, so that's really cool as well. With the handle, I decided to wrap it. Finally, I actually wrapped it with red yarn, so you guys will see that as well. So that's giving you guys an idea of what I used on the actual sword itself, because I built this 4 years ago. This is just a recap and like a better version of it, basically. And I want you guys to know kind of like it was about, I would say it was about $80, $60, $80, but not less than $100. So I know if you buy a Buster Sword online, it's going to be a lot of money. I've looked at the prices. They are really pricey, and if you want something just for show, this is something that you could build and put up. I have been trying to figure out a place to put it, but I have no space, so I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to put it. So, but I have to have this in the room. Like, it has to be set up. I want to put it in the videos. just got to figure out where the hell I'm going to do it at. But let's jump into the actual video itself and show you guys the process. And I could not thank anyone as much as Shayna right now because she helped me paint this. So thank you, Shay, for being a part of this process. She helped me make the Divine Rose back there and a couple other things. She is the best fiance ever. So she's the beast. So thank you. So let's get into the video. Alright guys, so when I initially started this project years ago, this was just a plain sword. It had painted, filled in circles, which is why it's black in there. And of course there was no nuts and bolts in this. I actually went out, since I'm doing nothing right now, I'm off work for a little bit. I enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I wanted to make my first initial build project actually look really good. I got plumbing tape before. It was so shiny. I wrapped this whole entire Buster Sword with it, but it just looks so shiny and not like the Buster Sword. So, and then I want to get these wrinkles out and stuff like that. I want to make it look really good. So today I went out and got some plumbing stuff. I glued this on, and then I'm going to think about some way that I can put interchangeable materia pieces into this, you know, like half of a ball or whatever, into each side to show that it's different material. I thought about making it light up. I tried different ideas, and I know there's supposed to be 5 bolts. If I put these other 2 bolts in here, it'll start messing with the rod that goes all the way into this sword. This was my first initial build project, so of course it looked kind of rough. But it wasn't like any of the keyblades that I made, like the XBlade that I did for the channel, and some of the other keyblades that I made over there. It's not anything as intricate as those, but I want to make this, you know, really nice. Plus, I never even finished the hilt, so I got a end cap for that, and kind of basically put that on. I'm going to paint that, but I also want to try to actually coat this in Flex Seal. So this is a big project that I'm also doing some. This thing could get fucked up. It could potentially get fucked up if I don't do it right. I want to see how Flex Seal holds up on this type of material, because if that's the case, I want to make that X-Blade a lot more durable than it was. I did have to fix that X-Blade, but because I fucked it up, but I fixed it. So I do want to see how Flex Seal holds up on the Buster Sword, because that was the only initial project that didn't look exactly the way I wanted to, but it was still put together, and you can hold it. So I gotta actually take the other sides of these things that I got in the plumbing aisle at a hardware store, and I'm going to put that on the opposite side once this all completely dries. And it feels like it's not even completely down. I really want to just keep working on this and see how this goes. So if you like how this build came along, please don't be shy. Leave this video a huge like. I did my best to try to get this sword. It's not even in the whole picture here. Look at that. It's so big and it's quite heavy. Even though it's foam board, it's still capable to be held. Please leave this video a huge like. I mean, I know it's not like extravagant as anything, but it's a cheaper way to make a good looking Buster Sword if you want to do a I don't know, a cosplay for Zach. This might be a better route for you if you are on a tight budget. I think it's really cool because it's definitely something that you can hold. It's definitely something that's not heavy, because Buster Swords can be, well, they're just extremely heavy. But please support the channel, leave this video a huge like, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you want to see more builds like this, please comment down below. Like, if it's a Final Fantasy related kind of thing, please comment down below, and I will try to see if that would be something that would be capable of me building for another build video for you guys. So give me some ideas in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do, because I like doing videos like this, and I'm glad that this came around and is complete to be like this. I really am happy this turned out the way it did, because God, the first one was such a hot mess. It was so fucking nasty. I didn't like it. I felt so bad about it. But all the keyblades ended up turning out really, really well when I did them. So this is finally came back to its time of its prime. So I'm so happy that this is done finally. Now to where to put it in the room, I don't know. But yes. Leave this video a huge like, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you guys for stopping by and checking this video. And yeah, let your hearts be your guiding keys.